Welcome back to the NCU. That is Nerd Culture Undisputed. I am Kyle Wright, and here today with me, Mr. David Ham. Dave, thank you again for stepping up in such a big way for me.
Oh yeah, no problem. Get to talk about some Suicide Squad today, don't we?
Suicide Squad, what a great movie. But before we continue, of course, as you guys know, as always, you should know before we click on the video, but spoiler warning ahead, if you have not seen the Suicide Squad yet, you should definitely get out and go do that, though, because pretty solid movie for the most part.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to take
I
that over
really
a little
enjoyed
more.
it.
I thought you were going to take
Oh,
that over a little more. No, I mean, because you're the big DC fan here, so like, give me your overall impression on this movie, because you had that low expectation coming in because of how I don't want to say bad the last one was, but like, just kind of give me
right.
like, because like, from a big DC fan's perspective, your overall thought.
Yeah, I mean, me coming into this movie, I thought it was going to be a total crap show, just like the first one was. It's just kind of not exploring characters, just going through the motions to make some money. But it actually ended up being really good. I love the R rating. It was very gory, very funny. I mean, James Gunn definitely knows how to make a superhero movie. It kind of is a replica of Guardians of the Galaxy, but its own thing.
Yeah, he's a hell of a director. As soon as I saw that he got that movie, I was a lot more confident that this movie would be good. And I had the same thought on it. Anytime I could see Pete Davidson get his face blown off,
Right.
it's pretty dope. but
Oh yeah, that's freaking awesome.
but I mean, overall, just really good, hilarious. John Cena was
Yeah,
John Cena.
John Cena killed it. Yeah, him with Eldris, their chemistry was freaking amazing. So I really enjoyed the movie. Loved the villain. I love the over style of theatrics and just the stylized when it switched over to Harley Quinn. It just really blew me away.
Do you feel like they did Starro kind of dirty?
Yeah, I mean, he is a major villain, but I think he was never a major movie villain in the actual DC universe, because I think it would have been too much like out there for like a Superman or a Batman or a Justice League, especially when you can visit Apocalypse and all that. So
Yeah, I wonder if like how much the Justice League Snyder cut like really exploring like the dark side of all this. I wonder how much that affected the Suicide Squad really making Starro a monster, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I just in the comics he's a good monster, but I don't think he would ever been a good movie monster. So.
Right. And I mean, ultimately, the villain was, I mean, in this movie ended up being, I guess, Peacemaker, if you could see that as a villain role, and then whatever the lady's name was that put the whole team together.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of was the U.S. government was the villain.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the ending credits. Like, who do you fight for? Do you fight for the citizens or the government as a whole? So they kind of were bringing that question in there.
It's just like real life.
Yeah.
It's just like real life. So obviously from this, we're going to get a Peacemaker spinoff due to the post-credit scene.
Oh, yeah.
How
Definitely.
excited are we about that? Because Cena's he's incredible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's amazing as that character. I want to know how they're going to explain him getting shot in the throat, then a building collapse on top of him, and somehow survive.
Somehow surviving. That's maybe a little bit of a plot hole there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But who knows? Maybe they'll give him some kind of superhuman strength or something like that.
Right. Maybe they inject him with the super soldier serum. Maybe we just that's our first multiversal crossover. Oh, surprise! Disney bought DC.
Oh yeah, and I loved how they for Harley Quinn they kept on like she was very anti Joker. Anything that was even related to him, she was like, I'm totally done with it.
Dude, when she shoots that dude and she says, "What? I promised myself the next time I find a boyfriend and I see any red flags, I would do the healthy thing and I would kill him."
That's right.
I love Margot Robbie. Oh, Jesus, I just kicked my whole set. I love Margot Robbie. I love her as Harley Quinn. I hope that that's not the last time we see her in that role, because she nailed it again.
Oh yeah. I would like to see her in the actual Batman universe as Batman, one of Batman's villains, because I think she would kill it.
Yeah, absolutely. Or even I mean, almost in more of a protagonist role. Maybe you get that weird comic strip that we saw here recently of Batman with Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What was
And
that?
then
The Go ahead.
I think they're doing another like Birds of Prey movie too in the works, so
Oh.
we'll see her in that. But Birds of Prey was not very good, but
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
it was a good filler episode.
It was very nope. I can't say anything good about it. I was gonna try, just for the sake of this episode, but I hated every bit of it. I did not like that movie, even though she's incredible. She's a great. It was just not. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
So
who'd you like better? Did you like Deadshot or Bloodsport better?
Man,
I guess the main.
God, I really grew up a huge Will Smith fan. So it pains me to say, because I actually thought Will Smith had a good performance in the last Suicide Squad movie. However, is it Idris Elba? I don't know if that's how you say his name. I probably should have learned that before.
It is
Idris Elba, so that's right. He was incredible as Heimdall in Thor. He's an incredible actor. He's just got so much talent. I really enjoyed his role. So I got to say Bloodsport was he would probably get that edge for me.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I enjoyed his performance better than Will Smith's.
I mean,
I think he was just a more dynamic character.
Was he a better character, or was he in a better movie?
I guess it could be both.
It really could have been, right? Like it's I don't know. It's a touchy subject. I loved the dude from Ant-Man coming in and crossing over and playing the Polka Dot Man. That was such a terrible character, but such so well done.
Well, and then how he envisioned everyone as his mother. That was freaking hilarious. Like he looks over at the team, and even the rat on her shoulder is his mom.
Oh my gosh. I think we'd be kind of crazy if we didn't at some point bring up King Shark.
Oh yeah.
I forget his actual name. Is it Nadame?
I'm not sure.
Nadame, something like that. Hilarious. King Shark. That's what we're rolling with. Hilarious. Well done.
Yeah. Yeah, and just I mean, he was a total idiot, is what he was, but it was amazing.
I don't think that works as well if Sylvester Stallone is not voicing him.
Oh yeah,
because he just does. It's perfect. I don't know how. I'm not calling Sylvester Stallone an idiot. I'm just saying that voice was perfect for an idiot character. And
just like The Rock was perfect for Groot. It's like perfect casting.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
Even a single word or just grunts or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. What else you got? I know you've got to have some questions coming out of this, because this maybe gives us a little bit of optimism for the future of the DC universe.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of gritty that I thought DC needs to go with, not the more realistic gritty, but more of the kind of like fantasy gritty, where things die, bad things happen, but it's not super serious all the time, because I don't think that's how DC Comics is.
That's where they've gotten their flack over the last, what can you say, since I would say the Dark Knight trilogy was probably the last pure quality stuff that they've put out. And since then, man, I think they've been trying to take too dark of an approach to this. But when you look at Marvel and what they've been able to accomplish, they have comedy. But they mix it in with the darkness. Like, so bad things have happened. Literally, the beginning of Endgame is Hawkeye losing his whole family. And it's dark, dude, but you roll right back in with comedic relief. And I think if DC takes somewhat of a different, or that similar approach, they're going to be successful, because let's be honest here, who has the better superheroes?
Right.
DC. Who's got the better villains? DC.
Oh yeah, DC by far has the best villains.
Right. Batman's my favorite superhero, so out of like any universe. So
yeah.
I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic for the Robert Pattinson Batman. I hope that Suicide Squad brings us some kind of future success.
Yeah, just, you know what really changed it is just not having Joker in it was a big plus for me.
That's big because Jared Leto is a dud, right?
Yeah, no, I hate his Joker.
I'm excited to see him in Morbius. I think he'll be very good in that kind of role, but
Right.
because Jared Leto is not a bad actor.
No, he's a really good actor. He's just, I don't think he's the Joker.
He's not the Joker. Like, you can't be the Joker. Like, when you hold it to that standard of like the bar that Heath Ledger set, and like that Jack Nicklaus and Mark Hamill,
Right.
Jack Nicholson, not Jack Nicholson, not the golfer. The golfer didn't play the Joker.
Right.
But like when you set the standard, when you talk about the standard that those guys set, like you come in down here, it's not gonna work, man.
Just even Mark Hamill, I mean, he didn't have any on screen. He was just a voice actor, but his voice for the Joker fit perfect.
Yeah, he was absolutely.
And nothing about Jared Leto has fit for me in that role.
Not at all. Not for me either. And I mean, they've had it, he's done 3 appearances now as the Joker.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. I know he was in Suicide Squad, the first one, and then he was in, he was in the Snyder Cut of.
Right, yeah, kind of like an extra kind of like scene there.
Yeah, in like hour 6. And I don't know. That movie was too long. I enjoyed it, but it was way too long. So we got a couple of other things coming up here on the channel. First of all, Dave, you are going to be in more of a full-time role, and I promise in the future we'll do more show prep going into these episodes.
Oh, no problem.
So welcome to Nerd Culture Undisputed. I'm glad to have you. Because
let's go.
When it's just you and me, we have these conversations all the time. So kind of figure why not make this happen on screen? Why not have these conversations on screen and make it part of our channel? And so here we are. We have a couple of big things coming up. I think next week we're going to be making 2 episodes. We're going to do one episode on the and I think we're going to be doing one episode on Star Wars Visions, right?
Right.
One episode on that. How was that, by the way? Just like spoiler free. Kind of talk about that for just a second without giving too much away.
It's to me it was kind of Star Wars if like a Japanese person invented it. Like if it wasn't George Lucas and it was some other like Japanese person, like it's very stylized in that way. It's basically Star Wars anime.
Oh, I mean,
but I mean, there's some of them good. I mean, it's I think it's 9 episodes or 10 episodes long, and each episode is almost a different style and a different kind of storyline. So it's kind of just throwing stuff at the wall to see, I think, what people like.
Oh shoot. Okay, so I haven't watched it yet, but I've been waiting for a little bit of time, and I'm actually tonight when I get home, I'm planning on watching about 4 or 5 episodes of it. So I'm excited for that episode of NCU. I'm excited for everything we got going on here. I think we're also going to be doing an episode on the next 7 untitled MCU projects that were confirmed for release dates all the way up until 2025. So imagine like 3 years after that, we're going to be at the 20-year mark of the MCU.
That's freaking crazy.
That is wild. And there's no foreseeable end the way they're doing this.
Yeah, no, I mean, they could go on forever. Just I wish DC would finally catch up and get some quality out there.
They can do it, man. They really can. They just have to get the right directors, and they got to get the right storytellers. You don't have to do everything comic accurate, and I think the MCU has proven that.
Right, but I think DC should go comic accurate and not go the Marvel route because their stories are already amazing.
Right.
So just you already got it there. Just go by it.
So maybe they can go comic accurate and still be good. They just have to. You got to get the right people, and you also you can't treat your actors the way we've heard that actors get treated, because we saw Robert Downey Jr. was in 13 movies, and that's just like, it doesn't matter who you cast, but if continuity is there, if consistency is there, people are going to be here. We're about to have our 4th different Batman in the last 10 years? Or third different Batman in the last 10 years? That can't happen, man. That stuff right there can't happen. I mean, they already have to recast Henry Cavill Superman.
Well, I guess they did it with Spider-Man, but they corrected it now.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, right, true. But maybe now we're
Yeah.
probably going to get all three of them.
Right.
Oh God, I can't wait for that movie. Ugh.
Yeah.
But also here on the channel, guys, we're going to be doing a weekly recap of every single Hawkeye episode. So that's something I haven't told you about. But I really want to. I want to start doing weekly recaps of every episode once Hawkeye starts. So
Oh yeah. I'm fine with that.
I'm excited for that show too. Excited
Oh
for
yeah.
everything to come. Dave, you got anything else on the Suicide Squad, man? Just overall good movie. Anything else?
Yeah. I'm ready for number 3. And just fun fact, I didn't know Nathan Fillion of like Firefly was the arm guy.
What? Oh, the detachable kid? He was?
Yeah.
No shit. How did
I
I
didn't
not
know until I
notice
looked
that?
up the cast. Yeah, I looked it up and I'm like, oh, I was like, who played that guy? It was Nathan Fillion did
No
that.
kidding. No kidding. I mean, it was a star-studded first lineup of the guys that didn't even make it off the
Oh
beach.
yeah. I love they were like, hey, go out, let's see what you can do. And he's like, okay. And just slapping people around. Doing
People-
absolutely nothing.
and they're shooting his arms, and he's on the ground.
Yeah.
It was awful. So funny though. So funny. Well, hey Dave, thank you again, man, for stepping up, and a lot more coming from us.
Oh yeah.
And to everybody else, hey, thank you guys for watching as always. Make sure you hit like, subscribe. Make sure you turn on them notifications so that you can know when we put up a video live every Sunday at 9 a.m. here for the Right On Sports Show. Make sure you keep your eyes on our page. We have all kinds of cool stuff coming up. We got a great cast of people here. All of it happens on our Right On Network Facebook page. You can also go follow any of our other stuff. It's all there on the Right On Network page. Right On Squared Circle, Right On Sports Show. Just give us a follow, man. I mean, we're here to have a good time. We're here to put out good content. We're here to entertain, and sometimes we're really, really good at that. So come check us out. Thanks everybody for watching, and until next time, always remember, I have to look down there so I stop recording this time. Never forget the nerd out.